It's JC's 25th anniversary on K-Hits 96.
The governor was fingerprinted for a second time. The Chicago Tribune reports that the quality of the first prints taken last month was not considered good enough.
He's that slimy. We took his fingerprint and it slid off.
Joe Buck, I don't know that I've ever seen you on Channel 9 before.
I'm going to be a recurring character for the next 3 years on Barney. Oh, again, it's our old friend Joe.
Channel 4 sent Lisa Monzo, a very nice woman, reporter out to the airport today to cover the beginning of shooting of the new George Clooney movie. She actually said, if you know where anybody in the cast is, give us a call at Channel 4 because we would love to know about this. I'm now told that George Clooney is at 4th and Pine, about 4 blocks away from the Channel 4 studios.
Oh, my God.
What was the Stooges line? Boy, are you day. Ty, you're on the air?
Yeah, a friend of mine who is a pollster down in Kentucky said if you take a sex poll outside of Priscilla's, you're going to get a different answer than if you take it outside of the Baptist church.
You just gave me a great idea, by the way. I'm going to go out and stand in front of Priscilla's and ask.
Yeah, that's...
Senator McCain, you're behind
Democrat.
in perverts, 18 to 34. We've got to do something to pick up the latex vote. Miss South Carolina, a blonde, very attractive young woman, though, who wasn't ready for this one that they threw at her.
Recent polls have shown a fifth of Americans can't locate the U.S. on a world map. Why do you think this is?
I personally believe that U.S. Americans
Already in trouble.
I believe that our education, like such as in South Africa.
Why can't Americans find America on a map? And she's in the Iraq and South Africa, the only 2 countries she apparently is aware of. Although later on she does mention Asia.
And I believe that they should...
Who's they?
Our education over here.
Our education over here. So she's back here now. She was briefly in the Iraq and South Africa.
And the U.S. should help the U.S.
Yeah, the U.S. should help the U.S.
Yes, it should.
God helps people who help themselves. The U.S. should help the U.S.
Or should help South Africa.
Or help South Africa. After you're done helping the U.S., get back over to South Africa because I was just there, you'll recall.
It should help the Iraq and the Asians.
Yeah, right. In the meantime, they're like, put this girl out of her misery, please. Somebody shoot her in the head. You're on the air.
Keep in mind that about 99.9% of those guys working on that highway have got either wrenches or hammers or other very heavy objects that would quite easily become a projectile through a windshield.
So what you're suggesting is that the highway workers, if somebody is speeding through their work zone, they should take a hammer or a wrench and throw it through the windshield, thus probably killing not only that person, the passengers, and then after that person is killed, the car is going 80 miles an hour, then veer out of control and probably kill some other people.
Damn, wasn't as good as idea as I thought.
Oh, and speaking of last night's game,
One and only J.C. Corcoran from K-Hits.
You know, J.C. recently threw out the first pitch.
25 years in St. Louis.
25 years on the radio here and broke his thumb in batting practice.
you know, you can probably hear it on the tape there, but the sexual tension between me and Al Raboski is just, it's off the scale.
What's the weather for the weekend gonna be?
There was a disturbing image, huh, Dave? Yeah, yes. What a way to go into the holiday weekend.
Chris Matthews. All right, here we go.
It's a 3-2 pitch. This guy's been in a slump. Hey, buddy, how about getting a hit before Jesus gets back?
Matthews. Wow. All right, now Darrell Hammond doing that same home run call as Ted Koppel.
Okay. What's the point in all of this?
Bob Seger, thanks for spending a little time with us.
He said exactly what you just said. He said, I thought you'd be this big, tough guy from the Motor City.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, wait a minute. No, that's Nugent.
Yeah, that's right.
We tried to have Trista on the air when all this was going on, and they're like, we're just like a hometown radio station here. We thought that maybe she'd want it. No! And then I turn on the TV on The Bachelor show, and there she is in a shower rubbing her snatch against a complete stranger. It's like, here, I'll tell you what, I'll put on a bikini with my big plastic fake boobs, and let's put a camera in there, and then let's turn the water on, and then we'll make out in the shower, and I'll just rub all over you, and we'll get my skin nice and glistening, and we'll watch that water just roll down my cleavage, and, hey, can we have a phone conversation with... Respect her privacy! She's a private person. What's wrong with you? Sorry. Well, the man has a point. Ladies and gentlemen, returning to the scene of the crime. When I say crime, I say radio. The former co-host of the Stevens and Gridnick radio program on KC95, the one and only Joy Gridnick! Hey,
Hey. Having not been in the restaurant industry, I didn't really realize that you have to,
pay taxes.
Oh, my goodness. My cheeks are going to hurt after this.
That's what she said.
Dennis Weaver from McLeod. His home is made of hundreds of recycled tires stuffed with dirt.
I guess if you were a guest, you'd have to stay in his spare bedroom.
The guy has a really inflated opinion of himself.
Hi, you're on the air.
I'm from San Francisco, and this was the heaviest one I've ever felt. At about 4:30 this morning, our bird just went nuts in its cage. I couldn't figure out what was going on. But,
now, do you put one of those shades over the bird cage at night?
What do you think that's going to stop an earthquake?
Well, Americans are driving less to cope with the increasing cost of food and gas. And when I am driving, I'm trying to coast more.
It's worked in your career so far.